Welcome to the NBA here on 2K Sports. Wednesday in the NBA. It's going to be Paul Pierce and the Boston Celtics up against Stephen Curry and the Golden State Warriors. And now, here's my friend Kevin Harlan and the rest of the 2K crew. I'll check back with you at the break with the HP Halftime Report.
Hello and welcome, everyone. It's the NBA here on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg. A contest between conferences, Oracle Arena, Oakland, California, where the Warriors take their home floor. Presented by State Farm, let's take a look now at the Boston Celtics opening lineup. Rondo and Allen make up the backcourt. Kevin Garnett and Jermaine O'Neal at the 4 and 5. And it's Pierce in at the 3 slot. And for Golden State, David Lee and Andres Biedrins up front. Monte and Curry in the backcourt. And it's Wright in at the small forward.
Well, the Celtics played pretty well against the Western Conference a year ago. They went 19-11 in their 30 games versus the West. Not bad.
So Golden State will get the first possession. Now here's Curry. Ellis defended by Allen. Outside Curry. Kicks to Lee. Shot clock at 6. Wright for 3. That's good. Wright's got the first points up on the board here for the Warriors. Well, Steve, you look at what the record for the Celtics was against the West. You mentioned 19-11. Clark, how do you think they match up with the best of the Western Conference?
Well, you look at the best teams in the West, Kevin. I mean, there's great size pretty much across those front lines out west. The Celtics actually got a little smaller last season when they traded Kendrick Perkins away, so that center position remains a question mark when you compare the Celtics to the teams out in the Western Conference.
The feed now to Lee. Open look. Off glass and in. Here's Rondo. Let's go quickly over to Doris Burke for an update.
Well, Mark Jackson and I spoke for just a couple of moments. Staying patient and not getting too ahead of themselves on offense are the two big points Coach stressed to his team in the pregame. He believes that if they can do those things and commit to playing what he calls our game, they'll be able to break down the tough defense they're facing. Kevin?
Wonderful, Doris. Thanks for the report.
You know, that strong defense on the other side obviously has them a bit concerned.
Yeah, no question. And they're so good when you isolate, they're going to really close you down. So you've got to keep player movement, ball movement. Try to get that defense on the move. That's the only way you're going to get good shots against this team.
Curry's shot is good.
Boy, they are locked and loaded early. 3 for 3.
Kevin, Stephen Curry was the 7th pick in the 2009 draft, and if they did that over, he might be the 2nd pick. I mean, he's a terrific shooter and good potential as a playmaker. I think the Warriors got a steal.
That's good.
That's the way to work the ball in close to the hoop, guys.
And so here's Golden State. Ellis outside. Back to Lee. 4 on the clock. The 3, and another 3 for Golden State. Talking about the future of Steph Curry, Clark, he joined Team USA for the World Championships in 2010 to make the team after just his rookie season. Steve, a very impressive distinction.
Yeah, winning a gold medal. What an experience that was for Steph Curry and for a Warriors organization that hasn't had an all-star in almost 15 years. Curry represents the future of that franchise.
He's picked up by O'Neal. Ellis left side. Over Rondo. Again, Golden State.
Even with just a little bit of room, he's going to immediately go on the attack. Well, with the Warriors' new ownership group, there's a lot of excitement from these fans who are among the best in the NBA. And you better believe that this ownership group is very passionate about building a winner. And they're going to do everything they can to make it happen.
Now here's Garnett. Allen for 3. Gets it to go.
Little slow on the defensive rotation there.
1:09 left in the first quarter. I would agree, Steve. You know, there's a new feeling and optimism, a new talent base, new ownership, and I love their brand new, or their new uniforms last season. We've seen that logo before, sir.
And the loyal fans hoping that the new blood will bring greater success. I mean, some of the best fans in the NBA.
Absolutely.
With just one playoff appearance over the last 17 seasons, that won't exactly be the highest benchmark to clear, so they might be able to get back in the mix.
They've got great fans in that Bay Area, some of the best in the NBA.
Yep.
And the Warriors decide to take their first time out here.
It's well known throughout the league, guys, that the Oracle Arena fans are amongst the most loyal in the league. This team has been in the top half of the league in attendance for the last 7 seasons now.
And some changes here for the Warriors. It was Amundsen who's checked in for Biedrich. And it's Williams in for Steph Curry. Kristich, he's checked in for Boston. Davis comes in for Kevin Garnett. Here's Williams. Ellis outside. Back to Williams. Fires for 3. That's good. Williams has got himself on the board with 3 there. And the new owners haven't dismissed the possibility of moving the Warriors to San Francisco in 2017 when their lease expires at Oracle. That will be an interesting time.
Well, and this is a team that has enjoyed such great fan support over the years without a lot of success on the court. And yet these fans in the Bay Area continue to come and support this Warriors team night in and night out.
He used that pick to perfection. Allen's got 5.
Not much resistance for him after that pick, Kevin. I mean, he had all sorts of space to hit the shot.
Backing down his lead. Rondo against Ellis. Outside Williams. Good, and the assist goes to Ellis. He's got 6.
Boy, that is a sweet feed from his teammate there.
And here's Rondo, looking for his first bucket of the game. Right side, Pierce. Hits it!
That builds a little momentum going into the next quarter.
Yeah, you know, you definitely have to make sure you take advantage of that last possession. You don't want to squander that.
No shortage of scoring here at the end of the first quarter. The Warriors on top, leading by 5.
And a good start for this club. I like the way they played together, really moved the ball and did a nice job offensively.
Yeah, excellent ball movement, and it's paid off on the scoreboard, too.
Don't go away. We'll see you in a moment. All right, the second quarter beginning in just a moment. Here's West.
You know, looking back now to the 1998 draft, I'm sure there are some teams that picked ahead of Boston in that 10th spot that would like to do that one over and maybe take Paul Pierce, because he slid down that draft a little further than people expected, and he's become an absolute superstar for the Boston Celtics.
So with Rondo on the bench, here's the 5 for Doc Rivers right now. We've got Delonte West. Green is out there at Glenn Davis. Then it's Allen, and it's Garnett in at the 5 spot. From the sideline, let's catch up with Doris Burke.
Well, guys, the struggles of Andris Biedrins have been a major concern for the Warriors the last few seasons. At one point, he was considered their center of the future, but he seemingly lost his confidence. David Lee said that Biedrins on his team was one of the things that attracted him to Golden State. He said, "I remember playing against Andris 2 or 3 years ago when he was the most efficient center in the league, a guy that was as difficult to play against as anybody." And guys, the Warriors still hold out hope that Andris can regain that great form.
They could make a great tandem. Thanks, Doris. Here's Thornton after Jeff Green's bucket. Thornton against Green. Shot clock at 5. On its way from Curry for 2. And the Warriors tack on 2 more. thinking back to Paul Pierce's draft out of Kansas, even at that time, it was somewhat surprising to see him drop like that in the rotation.
It really was. I can remember thinking about Paul Pierce and how I thought he was the one guy in that draft who really had a ready-made NBA position in game. And to see him slide, that's why the draft is more art than science. But at the end of the day, you know what? It's all about what happens when you get to the NBA, and he's proven to be a Hall of Famer.
And historically one of the great Celtic scorers of all time.
Without question.
So the Celtics called timeout. They're first.
Well, we all know Rajon Rondo is among the fastest players in the NBA, but he's really the only Celtic who wants to get out and run. This is more of a half-court team. In fact, Boston finished in the bottom 10 in the league in fast break points.
Some changes for Golden State. Andres Biedrins is checked in for Amundsen. Udo comes in for David Lee. And it's Ellis in for Steph Curry. Then for the Celtics, Jermaine O'Neal's checked in for Garnett. Pierce comes in for Ray Allen. Rajon Rondo is subbed in for Delonte West. Here's O'Neal. Goes up off the inbound. Off the inbound, no good. And Steve, you're talking about the Celtics and their slower pace, bottom 10 in fast break points. Clark, I guess that's often the case for more veteran teams. They don't want to get into a track meet.
Yeah, I think they've got to be more efficient in terms of how they massage offensive possessions. I mean, you look at Rondo, who is an absolute burner, but the rest of the starting unit probably better suited to a half-court game. And it'll be interesting seeing how the Celtics go forward because Rondo moving into his prime and obviously more effective in an up-and-down game. Will the Celtics acquiesce to who he is and what his best type of game is as they go forward?
And here is O'Neal after Udo just nailed the three. Clock at 6. Pierce against Williams, and that one's good by Pierce.
Well, they've done a lot of their damage from mid-range here, guys. I mean, knocking down those shots with regularity.
Yeah, how about 8 of their last 10 points, guys, coming off that mid-range area jump shot. So shows you don't have to be at the rim to score.
Similarities between Rivers, the coach, and Doc Rivers, the player. I mean, he had the height to play shooting guard, but was the most valuable running the show as the point guard.
Now here is Davis. What a terrific move that was. Davis has got 4 points now in the quarter.
Just another one of his many post moves down low.
Great point, Clark, on Rivers. You know, the teams that he has coached, Orlando and Boston, really embody him. Steve, they all play smart, tough defensively, well coached up and down.
Yeah, it is interesting how teams kind of take on their coach's personality, and that's definitely been the case with Boston and Doc Rivers. He, as a player, he was tough, he was smart, he was competitive, and it sure shows in the way his Boston teams have played the last few years.
Timeout called the Warriors.
Well, you look at the Celtics a season ago, they went 23-18 on the road, and well, that would be a good mark for most teams. That was Boston's worst road record in the last 4 years.
Some changes for Golden State. David Lee's checked in for Thornton. Wright comes in for Reggie Williams. And Steph Curry subbed in for Monte Ellis. And then for Boston, Kevin Garnett is checked in for Davis. Allen comes in for Jeff Green. And Delonte West is subbed in for Rajon Rondo. Poke loose. Unload from 9. Lee gets the bucket. Lee's got 4 this quarter. Steve was talking about that Celtics road record. You think, Clark, that is something to be concerned about, 23-18 away?
Kevin, probably not. I mean, on their overall record, they gained 6 wins from the previous season. If there's any concern for the Celtics, it's probably the question of age and how much do the big three have left in the tank. But it is interesting when you think about it. Last year, when they felt the year before, rather, when they got to the NBA Finals, they didn't feel concerned about not having home court advantage in the Eastern Conference because they had been so good on the road.
Sure.
So that could have maybe put a little chink in their armor in last season's playoff.
And so here's Golden State. Jermaine O'Neal making his last shot. 59 seconds left to play in the first half. West dishes to O'Neal. Right against Allen. Now right defending. 6 to shoot. Right up. West misses.
Excellent. Really solid job, actually, by the defense to get in his way as he was going up for that one.
O'Neal comes with the double team. Udo with the ball. He's got 5. He cans that one. Udo's got 7 points.
Well, they've got to do something defensively because he's been unstoppable.
And defensively, Steve, your only choice now is to double him. I mean, I don't think there's another option.
Here's Pierce. That's blocked. Up in time. Shot no good. And that does it for the first half of play. We'll be right back here live from Oakland.
And now it's time for the HP Halftime Report. I'm Damon Bruce. Out at Oracle Arena, the Warriors with the lead against the Celtics. They've been phenomenal offensively, scoring effortlessly. David Lee having a huge impact. How's that for a shooting percentage? 100. Yes, 100% from the court. Not too bad. And no shortage of desire from the Celtics side of things. They're doing well inside, big bodies, big points in the paint advantage. A good start for Paul Pierce. Also getting into the mix, Ray Allen. Strong showing so far by these two in the action today, leading their team in points in the first half. Time now to get you back to the game in Oakland. Second half from Oracle Arena coming right up.
And the third quarter about ready to get underway. Here's Rondo. Still looking to get on the scoreboard.
When you put the isolated cam on the Warriors, I mean, normally pretty tough at Oracle Arena. Even though they haven't been much of a playoff contender, the crowd still shows up and gives them tremendous support.
Monte and Curry in the backcourt. Jarrell Wright and David Lee are the forwards. And it's Biedrins in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. And that's the group for Mark Jackson as we begin the second half. Let's check out what Doris Burke has for us.
Hey guys, well, one of the identifying characteristics of the Celtics, one of their calling cards, has been their tough defense over the years. Former coach Phil Jackson had high praise for them, saying they're going to smother, they're going to contest, and they're going to body guys. He added that these things you'll have to account for and plan for when facing the Celtics. Guys, not easy to do.
Good job, Doris. Boston always near the top of the league in defense.
And, Kevin, I think Kevin Garnett has the most to do with that. He's the anchor down there on the block. And as a team, they've put together one of the best defensive units in the NBA the last few years surrounding Kevin Garnett.
Clark, you're right on it. Warriors last season, 26 up and 15 down at home, an 8-game improvement to the prior year. Steve, not bad.
Not bad at all, and that's pretty much a 10-game improvement overall. So the next step for Golden State is to figure out how to win on the road. If they can do that, this is a team that could possibly be in the playoffs next season.
Louis Amundsen, he's checked in for the Warriors. Chris Ditchy's checked in for the Celtics. Celtics trail by 10. Time called here. The Celtics decide to talk it over.
They don't seem to have any answers for him. They need to review their game plan and look for a way to cool him off.
Here's Rondo, looking for his first bucket of the game. Lee with the steal.
What a steal. That's some excellent defense right there.
Ellis, and the layup is good. And it's a 12-point Warrior lead. Here is Rondo, down by 12.
Monte Ellis, Kevin, such an established scorer in the league. Easy to forget that this guy was just a second-round pick, number 40 overall back in 2005.
Now here's Garnett. 6 on the shot clock. Garnett with a screen on Ellis. Shoots from the line. Good on the jump shot. That's 7 points for Allen. Going back to that second-round selection of Monte Ellis you're talking about, Clark, taken straight out of Mississippi in high school, and it was a setback. Some questioned his decision to declare, but Steve, through hard work, he's made the best of it.
He sure has. He made the right decision, obviously, and you can understand why he fell to the second round. He's an undersized two-guard coming out of high school. Nobody really knew how good he could become, but incredible explosiveness as an athlete, and if you did the draft over again from that year, he'd be in the lottery. He's done a ton to help his team, guys, and he may have to do more if they're going to come back and win.
Timeout called the Warriors. Andres Biedrins, he's checked in for David Lee. And a change for the Celtics. O'Neal's checked in. Here's Ellis. Ellis, left side. On deep from beyond the arc and then some. Ellis has got 5 points now this quarter.
Well, last season, the Celtics, one of the great defensive teams in the league, but they didn't do it with a lot of shot block. I mean, they tied for second least in the league in that category. It just goes to show you, you can still be good as a field goal defense team without blocking shots.
He's been producing all night. It's up to the rest of his team to start kicking in a little bit.
And Biedrins backs in. Just 5 to shoot. Golden State needs to get off a shot. Ellis, that's good. That's a good point, Clark, about the Celtics and not a lot of blocked shots and all the injuries, Steve, in their front court played a part in that.
And age, Kevin. I mean, you look at Kevin Garnett over the last 2 seasons, his shot blocks have really dropped to about half his career average, not moving or jumping quite as well as he once did. Still a very effective player, but at some point, Father Time catches up with all of us.
Warriors leading by 10. And Biedrins kicks to Curry. He's covered by Rondo. Curry passes to Biedrins. With the clock winding down, and the Warriors tack on 2 more.
You know, with the expectations low for him, he can provide a nice lift when he does put the ball in the basket.
Got a piece of it, and taken away by Ellis.
Great defensive work right there. The quick hands lead to the turnover.
3-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Right outside. And a great assist by Curry as that one goes in. Wright's got 5 points in the quarter. Here comes Rondo. Still looking to get on the scoreboard. 3 seconds left, and it's Boston with another.
Now, he's really stood out for his club, too. Even though they're struggling a little bit, he's doing his part.
And as we end the third quarter, a double-digit deficit will make it tough to come back. What a game we're seeing from David Lee.
Seems like every time he's gotten the ball down on the block, guys, he's had his defender at his mercy. I mean, he's eating this team alive.
Yeah, he really is. The big man is doing major eating down there in the paint. I like the way he's mixed up his approach, too. He's kept the defenders off balance.
It's the NBA on 2K Sports from Oracle Arena in Oakland, California. Now, while we've got a moment, we're going to send it over to Doris Burke for our Spark of the Game, presented by Sprite. Doris?
Hi, guys. Well, it was the stretch by the Warriors that garnished the Sprite spark today. In that last quarter, things started falling their way, and they clearly have momentum on their side as we head down the stretch in this one. We'll see if they can maintain that same kind of intensity they just showed us in the third period, guys.
Thank you, Doris. Everything really clicked for them, Clark, during that run.
Yeah, it sure did. I mean, it ignited them offensively.
To the point, Clark, where they were really in complete control at that end of the floor.
On the court for the Celtics, Rondo, Allen, and Pierce for the perimeter. Glenn Davis out there with Kristich. Lee, a screen on Rondo. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
You know, David Lee had a bit of a slow start at Golden State and never was able to get back to his normal marks, his typical scoring and rebounding numbers, but I still think he was a valuable contributor for him.
That free throw, no good. And Clark, you mentioned Lee. Golden State needed some rebounding help, and Steve, he provided it.
Yeah, unfortunately, they still need more help along the front line next to Lee, but he's a nice player. He rebounds, he scores, he sets screens, plays with a lot of energy.
And the second free throw, good.
I tell you what, the Warriors last season just 36-46 overall, 5 wins under 500, but they played the Eastern Conference even, 15-15 over the course of the season against the East.
Now here's Wright, and stolen by Wright. For the finish, throws down the breakaway jam.
And that steal led to that easy transition basket.
You know, Steve, they've got those guys reeling a little bit right now.
And the Warriors' up-tempo style, a contrast with the way a lot of Eastern teams play.
Well, yeah, a lot of the Eastern teams play a slower pace, and they have to be ready to run when they go up against a team like Golden State.
And here's Rondo. Just 4 to shoot. Pierce. Ellis, left side. He's picked up by Rondo. Lee with the ball. Kristich on him. Fader on the way. Shot's good. 16 points for David Lee.
You know, next time he has that much space, he should just go straight up with it and leave the fadeaway at home. Park that fadeaway. Take the shot that's available.
Time called here. The Celtics decide to talk it over.
And one thing you heard about David Lee in his first year with the Warriors was how much he brought to the table in terms of leadership and work ethic. Loves to play this game, and it's so important to have a guy like that on your team to really set the tone for the rest of the young players.
Some changes for Golden State. It was Amundsen. He's checked in for Lee. Thornton comes in for Darrell Wright. And it's AC Law in for Monte Ellis. The Celtics also changing it up. Kevin Garnett is checked in for Kristich. Green comes in for Paul Pierce. And Delonte West is subbed in for Ray Allen. Here's West. Tipped.
Tried to thread the needle there. It wasn't there.
All alone. Finishes the break with a slam.
Now, the offensive efficiency has been really important. I think that's been the difference.
Well, you know, I think it's pretty simplistic, but it does oftentimes come down to this, making shots. And that's what they've done.
Here's Long. He's covered by Rondo. And you can count it. He'll go to the line with a chance to make it 3.
Boy, that takes a lot of strength to finish a play like that while you're getting fouled.
Boy, and he had it on display right there, partner. I mean, that was muscle. That was strength on display finishing that shot.
Good for the three-point play. Here's West. Green with a screen on Williams. Rondo dishes to Garnett. Fades. And another basket for Boston.
Smart, he's just using his size advantage to get his shot off.
And a sweet stroke, too, you might add.
Warriors leading by 19. Here's Law. Now Thornton. They set the pick. Just 5 on the clock. Now the dish to Amundsen. That's good and a nice assist from Law. And the Warriors lead by 21.
You look at how they've been scoring the basketball, and it's really fun to watch them because all the baskets are coming off assists.
Well, keep that in mind. I mean, they're a much more efficient team when they make that extra pass. When they get in trouble, it's when they're taking quick shots.
Time called here. The Celtics decide to talk it over.
He wants to make a few adjustments out there, and he's running through those with his team right now.
David Lee checked in for Golden State. Curry comes in for Law. And then for Boston. Paul Pierce is checked in for Garnett. Allen comes in for Delonte West. And it's Arroyo in for Rajon Rondo. Here's Arroyo. Udo picks him up. Outside Pierce. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. It's going to be on David Lee.
And Paul Pierce is not particularly fast or quick, but he's very strong and he's crafty, and he finds angles. He finds a way to get his shot off, and that's one of the reasons he puts up great offensive numbers year after year.
And the first one at the line is good. And back to Paul Pierce and what Steve was talking about, what you've chimed in on with the way the Celtics play. It's a perfect marriage, Clark, between them because he can be so effective in that half-court game.
He really can be. I mean, he's versatile enough where you can use him a lot of different ways. You can post him, you can curl him off screens, or you can isolate the side of the floor for him, and he can get you good quality shots. And he's become a better playmaker in addition to being one of the terrific scorers.
That's a great observation. Here's Law. Left side, Williams. 5 to shoot. Over Allen. And the Warriors tack on 2 more.
You look at their scoring. Mid-range jumpers account for 6 of their last 10 points.
Well, defensively, they're doing a nice job of keeping them out of the paint, but you got to give them credit. They're knocking down shots.
Pierce for 3. And the rebound goes to the Warriors.
Even though he missed that one, great shooters have a way of feeling when they've got enough room to pull the trigger.
Yeah, not enough defensive coverage there to prevent him from firing that time. But, yeah, I think if he's open, he's got to let that thing fly.
Now, here is Bell. From down low, and he hits it and gets hacked on the play. A 3-point possibility if he can convert the free throw.
You got to like how they're getting the ball inside this half. They didn't have as much success earlier in the game, but now they're showing real determination in taking it inside to score. Looking at the game for Udo, 9 points, and he's had a steal in there too.
Well, the defense has really been the key to this game, and he's setting the tone.
Now a timeout called by Boston. They're down by 25. 1:02 left here in the fourth quarter. 1:02 left in the fourth quarter. Rondo kicks to Pierce. Fires the three, and that one's good.
I'm sure that's a load off his mind after not hitting a single three-pointer in the first half.
Steve, they are in complete control.
Well, everything they're doing, Kevin, has been working out. I mean, the game plan was solid, and they are executing out there.
Now here's Williams. Now here is Bell. 6 to shoot. No good. And it's the Celtics with the ball. 6-second difference between the shot and game clock. Rondo kicks to Davis. Over Udo. And again, it's Boston converting.
I tell you what, fellas, he loves those mid-range jumpers. I mean, that's where he makes his money.
Here's Law. The clock now can just run out for the Warriors. So we see the Warriors taking the game here. Not much to be critical of at this ring, Clark.
Not at all. I mean, they showed up not just to play. They showed up to give great effort and to win, and they did both.
Thanks for tuning in to the NBA on 2K Sports. For Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan. We'll see you next time. And now, our Jordan Player of the Game, David Lee.